This is the 72nd Annual Academy Awards. It's a highly charged scene here at the Shrine Auditorium as tonight's Oscar hopefuls greet fans and reporters along the red carpet. Everyone is wondering who will take home film's highest honor. Michael Clarke Duncan nominated for his first Oscar tonight. Winner last year for Shakespeare in Love, Dame Judi Dench. Michael Caine nominated for The Cider House Rules. The music world's hottest stars taking part in Hollywood's biggest night. Faith Hill, Gloria Estefan, Phil Collins. From The Cider House Rules, Charlize Theron. Oscar winner Kevin Spacey, he's nominated tonight for American Beauty. Nominated for Boys Don't Cry, Hilary Swank. From PricewaterhouseCoopers, Greg Garrison and Lisa Pierozzi carrying the envelopes with tonight's winners. Oscar winner Roberto Benigni. Best Actor nominee Denzel Washington. Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman. Star of the upcoming film Rules of Engagement, Samuel L. Jackson, talks to Army Archer, Hollywood's favorite reporter. Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman, he's nominated tonight for Magnolia. Beautiful Salma Hayek and Ed Norton. The Spy Who Shagged Me's Mike Myers. There's Something About Mary star Cameron Diaz. Chow Yun-fat. Best Actress nominees Meryl Streep and Julianne Moore. Now, let's go inside. Ladies and gentlemen, we join Burt Bacharach and Don Was in our Academy Awards All-Star Orchestra as we celebrate the 72nd Annual Academy Awards. Welcome, the President of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, producer Bob Ramey.
Good evening and welcome to the 72nd Annual Academy Awards. Well, it's certainly been an interesting year, or at least an interesting last few weeks, in which the focus in Hollywood shifted from who in the world is going to win the least predictable year in memory to what in the world are we going to present them with. But all of the Oscars and all of the stars are here tonight, and we're ready for our annual celebration. Now, the Academy president on these occasions is more or less expected to beam about what a great year for movies the one just passed has been. 1999 actually brought us a gratifying supply of good big pictures and wonderful little ones, inventive studio films and imaginative independence, and some animated and documentary features that seem likely to become classics. Tonight we'll find out which of them were most admired by the distinguished filmmakers from around the world who make up the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. So it's time to get started with our job for 2000. It's late March. We've already seen a quarter of the movies we'll be judging next year. And it's not even too early to ask, what might we see in 2001?
Make way for His Majesty Chow Yun-fat.
This year's nominees for Best Achievement in Sound Effects Editing skillfully handled thousands of punches, kicks, guns, and spaceships. Here are the nominees.
Ren Klyce and Richard Himes for Fight Club. A. Davis for The Matrix. Ben Bird and Tom Belton for Star Wars Episode I, The Phantom Menace.
And the Oscar goes to Caine Davis for The Matrix.
This is the first Oscar nomination for Caine A. Davis.
Wow. So this is where the rabbit hole goes. I want to thank Larry and Andy Wachowski and Joel Silver, Zach Steinberg, and everybody at Warner Brothers for trusting me with such a terrific movie. It was a blast from start to finish. I want to thank our mixers, John, Greg, and Dave, and congratulations. I want to thank my terrific crew led by Julia Evershade, Eric Lindemann, and John Resch. I want to thank my mother and father, my wife Francine, my sons Jeremy and Ryan, for being there for me when I came back from being in The Matrix. This is a great honor. Thank you, everyone in the Academy. Thank you.
You know, just thinking between Andrzej Wajda, Chow Yun-fat, and Salma Hayek, John Rocker must be going nuts. Please welcome someone else who's going to upset him. Austria's biggest export since the Von Trapp family, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Good evening. I'm here today to present the award for Outstanding Visual Effects. This is really exciting for me because while you may not know how much inspiration, imagination, and plain hard work goes into creating this magic, I know because I've been a visual effect. Half of my career I've spent hanging from a helicopter like in True Lies, or riding a motorcycle through fire like in The Terminator, or having a repairman go inside my head like in Total Recall. Also, now I know what it is like to be on the receiving end of all that crazy, demented talent of this craftsman. But tonight I'm going to be on the other end. I'm going to be on the giving end. Now, this year's nominees took us on a trip through the matrix of time, on a trip through the galaxy far, far away, and on a trip through Central Park with a little mouse named Stuart. Here are the nominees for Outstanding Visual Effects.
For The Matrix, John Gator, Yannick Sears, Steve Quadley, and John Tam. For Star Wars Episode I, The Phantom Menace, John Knoll, Dennis Murin, Scott Squires, and Rob Coleman. For Stuart Little, John Dykstra, Jerome Chen, Henry F. Anderson III, and Eric Allard.
And the Oscar goes to John Gator, Yannick Sears, Steve Quadley, and John Tam for The Matrix.
This is the first Oscar nomination for John Gator, Yannick Sears, Steve Courtley, and John Tum.
Futurized filmmaking. Andy and Larry Wachowski, this is their vision on the screen. These guys made my decade. They gave my career a path, and I am most thankful. And they are great friends of all of ours. They're very by the heart, they're making their films. I'd like to dedicate this to my son, Skylar. This is inspiration. I'd like to thank my wife, Rose, for standing by me through all of this. I'd like to thank the executive producers, Barry Osborne, Andrew Mason, ultra producer, Joel Silver. I'd like to thank Lorenzo de Bonaventure of Warner Brothers for standing behind a very risky picture and really making this film what the filmmakers wanted it to be. I want to point out that there are some great visual effects companies that did this picture. MVFX, Rob Bobo, thank you very much for putting all of your efforts behind innovation, behind the spirit of doing visual effects in service to a story. I'd like to thank Animal Logic and D-Film for quality work and a great experience. And most of all, the artists. Whatisthematrix.com. Go there.
Oscar-winning composer Burt Bacharach leads an all-star musical salute to past Oscar-nominated songs when the 72nd Annual Academy Awards returns. She's an American who received an Oscar nomination this year for playing British. He's an Australian who got a nomination for playing American. Please welcome Julianne Moore and Russell Crowe.
G'day folks, how you doing? Tonight's nominees for Best Achievement in Art Direction brilliantly transport audiences to another time and place.
From the England of Queen Victoria to the New England Princes of Maine, from a criminally beautiful Venetian palazzo to a tyrannically accurate Siamese palace to a ghost town on the Hudson, these artists get every detail right to suspend our disbelief.
Here are the nominees. For Anna and the King, art direction by Luciano Righi, and set direction by Ian Whitaker. For The Cider House Rules, art direction by David Gropman, and set direction, decoration by Beth Rubino. For Sleepy Hollow, art direction by Rick Heinrichs, and set decoration by Peter Young. For The Talented Mr. Ripley, art direction by Roy Walker, and set decoration by Bruno Cesari. And for Topsy Turvy, art direction by Eve Stewart, and set decoration by Eve Stewart and John Bush.
And the Oscar goes to Rick Heinrichs for Sleepy Hollow and Peter Young.
This is the first Oscar nomination for Rick Heinrichs.
Set decorator extraordinaire Peter Young was unable to come tonight, and if I read the rules correctly, I get to take home 2 of these as a result of that. I hope so anyway. I just hope you don't mind if I brought this. The teleprompter doesn't work for me. I share this award with an artist whose unique brilliance I got to glimpse 20 years ago in a wickedly funny short film about a demented dentist. Director Tim Burton, whose compelling vision of Sleepy Hollow was the inspiration we all keyed off of. I also share it with 2 gifted art directors, Les Tompkins and John Dexter, and 3 wonderful art departments in London, LA, and New York. I'm grateful for the support and the prodding of producers Scott Rudin, Adam Schroeder, and Larry Franco, and the backing of Paramount Pictures, Sherry Lansing, Michelle Manning, and Ann Morales. And thanks for the patience and love throughout of my wife, Dawn. And thank you to my parents for having me. Thanks.
Like every year, Mr. Oscar is ready to take a trip far away from this land.
The candidates are already awarded by having been selected. However, only one will take him home tonight.
Here are the nominees for Best Foreign Language Film.
From Spain, All About My Mother, Pedro Almodóvar.
From Nepal, Caravan, Eric Valli.
From France, East West, Régis Varnier.
From the United Kingdom, Salomon and Gaynor, Paul Morrison.
From Sweden, Under the Sun, Colin Nutley.
And the Oscar goes to... Pedro!
All About My Mother!
This is Spain's 18th nomination and the second for director Pedro Almodóvar, who was nominated in 1988 for his film Women on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown.
My God, don't you think they are one of the more beautiful couple, at least Spanish couple? You know, I come from a country, from a culture very different than this. And, you know, in that country now is 6 years in the morning. So let me dedicate this to the Spanish people that are watching TV now, and they sacrifice their Monday just to look you and me with this. I mean, this is for Spain. I'm going to be very quick. So if you have to applaud, you also have to be very quick. You know, I also want to thank my sister, Maria Jesus and Antonia, for the amount of candles that they lit to their favorite saints during the last months. You know, culture different. Thanks to the Virgin of Guadalupe, the Virgin of La Cabeza, the Miraculous, the Sacred Heart of Mary, Saint Judas Tadeo, and Jesus de Medinaceli. I told you that we live in a different country, in a different culture. Harvey Weinstein. Well, listen, so for just to have the one idea, what considered my sister's Oscar campaign. You know, they just lighting a lot of candles to these saints, presided by a photograph of my mother with Penelope and me, next to a twig of laurel, which brings good luck. So I think now I'm going to believe in all this. Well, excuse me. Thanks to Sony Classic, because really they believe a lot in our movie. Well, I'm very quick anyway. And of course, please to my brother, and to all of us, and to all the Spanish people. Bye-bye, I have to leave.
Such good news. We found the other two Oscars. Somebody bought these coming off the Santa Monica Freeway on an off-ramp. $3.99. This is a bargain. Oh, boy. Got a hernia. You know, Rodgers and Hammerstein said there's nothing like a dame. I think Sinatra said that too, didn't he? Probably did. And they are right. Here is Oscar's dame. Ladies and gentlemen, last year's Best Supporting Actress, Dame Judi Dench.
The Oscar goes to Dame Judi Dench.
This year's nominees for the Best Supporting Actor cover a wide range, from relative newcomer to huge star, and from a small boy to a man who's downright huge. Here are the nominees. Michael Caine in The Cider House Rules. Tom Cruise in Magnolia. Michael Clark Duncan in The Green Mile, Jude Law in The Talented Mr. Ripley, Haley Joel Osment in The Sixth Sense. And the Oscar goes to Michael Caine in The Cider House Rules.
This is Michael Caine's second Academy Award. He won an Oscar in 1986 for his supporting role in Hannah and Her Sisters. He was nominated for his lead performance in Alfie, Sleuth, and Educating Rita.
Thank you. Thank you. I was watching all the others and thinking back when I saw the performances, and I was thinking of how the Academy changed the winner is to the Oscar goes to. And if ever there was a category where the Oscar goes to someone without there being a winner, it's this one, because I do not feel like being a winner. You have Michael, who I'd never heard of, quite frankly, who is astonishing. Right. You have Jude, who's going to be a big star no matter what happens. You have Tom, who, if you had won this, your price would have gone down so fast. Have you any idea what supporting actors get paid? And we only get one motorhome, small one. And Hallie Osment, what an astonishing. Where is he? There he is. Hallie. When I saw you, I thought, well, that's me out of it. So really, I'm basically up here, guys, to represent you as what I hope you will all be, a survivor. I've got to hurry up, or Dick, I wasn't here last time, so give me a bit with my speech the last time I won, so give me a bit extra time, okay? I want to thank Harvey and Bob Weinstein and Meryl Poster at Miramax. Lasse Hallström, an extraordinary director, and Richard Gladstein. The wonderful actors I worked with, Tobey Maguire, Charlize Theron, Jane Alexander, Kathy Baker, all people who inhabit rather than act, and the wonderful children that I acted with there. And last of all, I want to thank my two daughters, Dominique and Natasha, and my wife. Thank you.
The ability to express emotion is the hallmark of a great actor. But the emotions you will be seeing in a moment from one of the 5 nominated Best Actors won't be acting. Trust me, I remember. And you probably all remember how wimpy I was, too. So, the nominees are Russell Crowe in The Insider, Richard Farnsworth in The Straight Story, Sean Penn in Sweet and Low Down. Kevin Spacey in American Beauty. Denzel Washington in The Hurricane. And the Oscar goes to Kevin Spacey in American Beauty.
This is Kevin Spacey's second Academy Award. He won an Oscar in 1995 for a supporting role in The Usual Suspects.
This is the highlight of my day. I hope it is not all downhill from here. I first have to say that I would like to dedicate this to the man who inspired my performance, a man who has been my friend and my mentor, and since my father died, a little bit like my father, whose performance in The Apartment stands as one of the finest we've ever had. Jack Lemmon, wherever you are, thank you, thank you, thank you. To my friends, for pointing out my worst qualities. I know you do it because you love me. And that's why I love playing Lester. Because we got to see all of his worst qualities and we still grew to love him. And this movie to me is all about how any single act from any single person put out of context is damnable. But the joy of this movie is that it is real beauty. And we found real beauty in this extraordinary script by Sam Mendes, by Alan Ball. It feels like he wrote it, though, doesn't it? I'm very proud to be an actor. And I have tried very hard to protect my work. And I'm stunned and I'm a bit speechless. And Diane, thank you for teaching me about caring about the right things. And I love you. And Mother, I don't care what they say about bringing you to award shows. I will always bring you to award shows because I'm proud of you and I love you. And thank you, thank you, thank you.
Steven Spielberg, Schindler's List.
And the Oscar goes to Steven Spielberg. Here are the nominees for Best Achievement in Directing. Sam Mendes for American Beauty. Spike Jonze for Being John Malkovich. Lasse Hallström for The Cider House Rules. Michael Mann for The Insider. M. Night Shyamalan for The Sixth Sense. And the Oscar goes to Sam Mendes for American Beauty.
This is the first Oscar nomination for British theater director Sam Mendes. American Beauty is his film directorial debut.
Wait for music to stop. I'm a little bit overwhelmed. I want to say huge respect, first of all, to my fellow nominees. It's an honor to be in your company, genuinely. It's an honor to be here. I want to say thank you to an astonishing young studio, DreamWorks, for having the courage to hire a bloke from English theatre to do a movie about American suburbia and then trusting him. So thank you, Glenn Williamson, Bob Cooper, Walter Parkes, Laurie MacDonald, Jeffrey Katzenberg, David Geffen, Terry Prest, and especially thank you to Steven Spielberg for handing me the script in the first place, for handing me this, and for being so generous with your wisdom. Thank you to a fantastic, fantastic cast of actors. I will be forever in your debt. Thank you for giving so much of yourselves to this picture, particularly Kevin and Annette and Chris Cooper and the three younger actors. Thank you, Wes and Thora and Mina. Thank you so much to all the people, all my many, many collaborators on this movie, to Dan Jinks and Bruce Cohen, the producers, to Conrad Hall, you're an artist, and I love you, to Tom Newman for your fantastic music, to Naomi Shohan and Julie Weiss, the designers, to my personal heroes, Beth Swafford, you're fabulous, and the equally fabulous Tara Cook, to my editor Tariq Anwar, to all the people who work at and have worked at the Donmar Warehouse Theatre in London, to all my friends at home watching in my flat in Primrose Hill, have a drink for me, to my dad and my stepmother watching back home in South London, to Alan Ball for a truly original screenplay. And finally, I'd like to say thank you to a personal hero of mine who was a big influence on this movie. I want to say thank you to Billy Wilder, and I want to say to him, if my career after this point amounts to 1/10 of what yours has been, I will be a very happy man. So to all of those people, and especially to you, to the Academy, thank you so, so much.
Okay, it's a little late, so we might as well jump right to it. For Best Picture tonight, here are the nominees. American Beauty, Bruce Cohen and Dan Jinks, producers. Cider House Rules, Richard N. Gladstein, producer. The Green Mile, David Valdez, Frank Darabont, producers. The Insider, Michael Mann and Peter Jan Bugge, producers. The Sixth Sense, Frank Marshall, Kathleen Kennedy, and Barry Mandel, producers. The Oscar, oh, that's the wrong, oh yeah. The Oscar goes to American Beauty.
This is the first Oscar nomination for both Bruce Cohen and Dan Jinks, and the second in this category for DreamWorks, which was nominated last year for Saving Private Ryan.
Thank you. It was almost exactly 2 years ago that Andrew Canava sent us a screenplay called American Beauty by Alan Ball. It dealt with sex and drugs, blackmail, homophobia, infidelity, and suburban dysfunction. And in the middle of all this was a character named Ricky Fitz, who at one point says, "Sometimes there's so much beauty in the world, I feel like I can't take it." And everyone in the audience knew exactly what he meant. Alan, Bruce and I will forever be grateful to you for trusting us with your beautiful words. Sam Mendes, thank you so much for taking this script and bringing it to the screen in such a brilliant way that audiences around the world have been moved by this story of two American families. On a personal note, I want to thank Larry Grimaldi, David Gentilari, Michael Pissarro, all of my friends, my sister Laura, and all of my parents who I am so thrilled are here with me tonight. Thank you. Bruce?
Thank you to Kevin Spacey, the incomparable Annette Bening, and our entire cast. You are all phenomenal, and we shared this with you. We shared this with our spectacular crew. 2 years ago, when others were passing on this wonderful script, DreamWorks stepped up to the plate. We cannot thank enough so many people there, from Glenn Williamson to Steven Spielberg, for giving us the creative freedom to make the movie we wanted to make and then working tirelessly to market it and distribute it. Thanks also to Alan Hergott, to Greg, Jillian, Paul, the gang at Spagos, my friends and family, Mom, Dad, Julie, especially Grammy, and finally, on behalf of everyone associated with American Beauty, Dan and I thank the Academy. To receive this extraordinary honor for a film that we are all so blessed to be a part of is truly the thrill of a lifetime. Thank you.
Thank you.